What's up, guys? This is Chris, aka Barnon11970. Thank you, as always, for the select few that watch my videos. I appreciate it, and I want to give out more of my wisdom. There are plenty of people I'm starting to see through the comments and emails on my Facebook and through here and other places I've seen videos that you'll get people that are talking about, well, I don't mind dying, or they'll take my gun out of my cold, dead hands, things like that. First thing I want to say is I admire the passion, I respect it, I understand it. But what you have to understand is that's your emotion talking, that's not logic. And the elite, the people that are in control, the ones that are making the cops do all the things that they're doing, and they're sitting in their nice, comfortable, luxury chairs counting our money, they're counting on people to think that way. Because of the fact that's how they make laws that restrict more of our freedoms. I've been warning people for years now that they're doing all these events to take our guns. And I know there are going to be people saying, well, they could take out of my cold, dead hand. Well, that might happen. And what I'm saying is there are other ways to do this. I don't know how many times I've explained this, and for some reason people don't want to get it. Even on my Facebook page, I have over 2,400 friends on my Facebook page, 90% of which have been added because of the fact that they're in the awoken community. And of the 2,400 people, 2 people shared the information that can help do this differently and not fall into their guided trap. They've put you in a maze, and they're moving the walls to put you in the direction that they want you to go. And you think you're going to get the cheese, and they're leading you towards the cat. You have to research this. The local sheriff has the highest authority in the land. They've been bought and paid for by these elite people, so they have nice cushiony desk jobs, and they get paid to not let people know about this. Same thing goes for the politicians. Same thing goes for the media. Same thing goes for the educational system. None of these will ever let you know about this fact. The people, instead of taking all of that energy and using it towards negativity, because you get what you give. So you're giving violence, you're going to get violence. That's not going to create good. You're not getting peace by war and fighting and looting. That's just going to make it escalate. It's going to justify them creating more laws that will restrict you. They will eventually have a martial law. They will confiscate people's guns. And then now we can't protect ourselves. You have to think, excuse me, I was about to yawn. You have to think a bigger picture. When Hitler disarmed the people, he told them that we have to save the women and children from all the violence and all the crime. And registering your guns will keep people safe, keep the women and children safe. And people fell for it. And they happily handed in their guns to be registered. Well, we all know what happened after that. Now, regardless of what other people say the story is, the majority of people know it to be that way, so I'm using it to make a point. Is they confiscated the guns because they knew where to find them. I want people to understand that if the people took their energy, instead of doing the negative, and turned it into positive, by going to your local sheriffs and saying, you know it, you have the highest authority of the land, you could stop these things without bloodshed. Do your job. Uphold your sworn oath of office to protect the people. They're protected under the Constitution. You know that document, the 2 documents, believe it or not? But still, if you utilize it the right way, it can help you. Because most people are not ready for the fact that you don't even want to be a citizen, but, people don't want to listen. And I've been trying to tell people this stuff for years. And for years, I've been called paranoid and crazy and tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist. And look what's happening. Because people are taking their energy. And I don't know how many times I could say, I understand it. It's justified. Trust me. When I watch cops dragging people down the street or pepper spraying a woman or beating a person that's laying there with their hands up and they still continue to beat them, it affects me. But there's a reason why they film it. There's a reason why they want you to see it. There's a reason why they want people to gather. This is planned. Anybody that can't see that at this point is either part of the problem or they've been drinking too much of their poison. And all these years I've been trying to get people to have a better way. And most people won't share this. There are a few that will. But you know how people say, oh, well, all this stuff, it couldn't have been happening for so long because people talk about it. Well, here are people like me and others talking about it, and the average person doesn't do anything about it. So the message doesn't get out there. Look at my views on my videos. I get emails all the time from people saying some of the stuff that I've done is the most important stuff that they've ever heard. And they're like, oh, I never heard of this stuff. Why? Because people don't make the effort. And that's why I said, I posted on my Facebook page that all you have to do is contact your local sheriff, and as long as something's going on in their jurisdiction, they have the power to override any federal law. They just choose not to because nobody knows about it, so they don't make them keep their oath. And in a corrupt world, if you let criminals keep doing crimes, you think they're going to all of a sudden say, oh, well, no one's stopping me, but you know what? I think I've stolen enough money and stolen enough goods. I think I should change my ways. Do you think that's how the criminal elements in this world work? They're not like the average person like you and I who feel guilty if we do something wrong. There are people out there that enjoy murder. They enjoy hate. I mean, look at some of the trolls I have. Some of them have been following me for years. And they subscribe to my channel just so they can wait for me to post a video, just so they can thumb it down. That's their goal in life. Their parents must be so proud of them. But then again, they're too cowardly to even tell their parents what they do. And some of them just do it for fun, and some of them get paid to do it. Although, of course, they'll never admit that, because cowards never admit anything. So my point of this rant is to get people to understand that when I talk about peaceful means, I don't mean go hug a tree. I don't mean sitting around the campfire singing Kumbaya. Because if somebody attacks you, you have the right to defend yourself. So I don't want to hear about all these peace-loving people, all we need is love and everything. That's wonderful in a perfect world. But if somebody's coming to stab you with a knife, if you want to sit there and say, I love you, it's going to be hurting a lot while he's stabbing you to death. Or she's stabbing you to death. People create their own world. And this is the world that people have created by their inactions, by thinking, oh, none of this will ever happen. Well, like I said about one of my subscribers the other day, they've made several videos about how they couldn't find an economic collapse. Well, keep filming because that story might change. And if it does, then all the ones that you said that you couldn't find are meaningless. If people want real change, you have to use your energy in a positive direction. Instead of continually having these elite for thousands of years knowing how to push the people's buttons. They keep squeezing and squeezing and squeezing until people have had enough, and instead of doing the right way or trying to figure out a peaceful way to get the job done, because you can do that, they decide to allow them to gather together. It creates a central form of energy, and everybody feeds off of each other, and they all will react when one does a move. And then the people in real control will change the laws, have justification, because if the president tomorrow, if they show on the media constant people looting in the streets and going into buildings and burning buildings and causing ruckus, the average person watching TV who is so far programmed and so far gone is going to find you, the protesters, the enemy. And they're going to applaud when the president makes new restrictive laws. But they're not going to do it until somebody gets killed by a gunshot. You'll see. Keep ignoring it. Keep using your violence. Eventually, somebody's going to get shot, and the president is going to come on and say, we now have to ban guns. And it's going to be probably some, unfortunately, and I hope it doesn't happen. I hope I'm wrong. But it's probably going to be some kid, or it's probably going to be some woman, or some elderly person. Somebody where they can get your emotion the strongest. So mark my words. The media will play it to no end. And then the people will be begging for the gun laws to finally be passed. then what? Because I know, like I said in the beginning of this video, a lot of people will say, well, they can pull the gun out of my cold, dead hands. Well, that's noble for yourself, and I respect it and I understand it. But you think your family would agree to your statement? You think they want you dead? Especially when it really won't amount to anything? It's unfortunate, and because that's why they always win. That's why for thousands of years, there have always been the poor, suppressed people, and they tend to be the masses, while the rich elite are the few, and they've been controlling us different times, different ways, over the centuries. Hello, McFly. The fighting doesn't work. It's not gratifying to know that you might have killed 3 or 4 cops before they killed you and took everything that you own. I'm trying to keep people safe. It's not being a coward. There are smarter ways to win this. If you keep playing the same move in a game that you keep losing, eventually it's your fault for giving away your hand. If people want to fix this, research about the fact that under the Constitution of this United States of America corporation, the sheriff, the local sheriff in their jurisdiction, has the highest authority of the land. People have been programmed to believe it's the federal government. Law or crime works when people do nothing. Compliance can be manifested through silence. So that's why I've told people they want people like me to be ignored. They want the Britney Spears of the world, the Miley Cyruses of the world, the Michael Vicks of the world to be in the mainstream. They want you talking about them because it won't make you smarter. And then they can do whatever they want. And they're pulling the strings, my friends. Stop being puppets. I'm not saying this to make people angry. I'm not trying to say I'm better than anybody else. I'm just using this brain that we've been given for a reason. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But the people seem to want it. And they think that fighting fire with a fire is going to put out the fire. It's just going to burn stronger. It's why revolutions never work. Because if it did, we wouldn't be in the mess we're in right now. So for those who get it, if you could share this message or make your own video, we can't give up now. I'm going to work harder than ever. This is out of love, believe it or not. Most of you still won't understand, and most of you will still either make fun of me or ignore me or attack me for trying to save your life, because, not for nothing, I don't know you. So if a policeman comes into your house and you shoot 2 or 3, then they overpower you and, kill your pets, kill you, and then just ransack your property, doesn't affect me in any way. I'm just trying to keep that from ever happening because I care about more than myself. That's why I've dedicated my life for the past few years to trying to prevent these very situations from happening. And like I've always said, there is nothing ever etched in stone unless you just decide to leave it there. Then it'll stay forever. So like everybody complains about those Georgia Guidestones. No one's ever gotten that message and taken it off it. And I guess people want it. You're definitely going to get it. And it's going to continue. And one day the Hunger Games and all those movies, they talk about how we're all slaves in the future. That will go from fantasy to documentaries. And we could have fixed this. But we're playing right into their hands. Congratulations. Be careful out there. Peace.